Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony Mosley of Visual Productions by Anthony Mosley, and I'm here with a short message to those of you who are early adopters in the nonprofit community here in North Texas when it comes to registering to be part of the Headshot Fundraiser for North Texas organizations. In this short video, I'm going to cover 5 things. First of all, who am I? The second is, what's the big idea behind this project? Number 3, I'll talk about what a fundraising headshot session looks like. Number 4, I'll address the issue of headshot locations in terms of how to actually host a session. And then finally, I'll give you some next steps to follow, whether you're a nonprofit organization that's going to host an event or one that's not going to host. First about me, I'm a professional photographer here in Fort Worth, but I travel throughout the entire North Texas area, so if you're in the DFW Metroplex, no problem at all working with you. I've been here about 5 years. Prior to that, I was a professor at Indiana University in that system, and also at Purdue, where I got my PhD and taught for about 20 years. Specialized in the area of public relations, but also developed some courses in photojournalism since I was in the communication department. So that's partly how I got interested in photography, and this is what I do now full time. So I used to help students tell their stories, and now I've transitioned to help organizations, both for-profit and nonprofit, share their stories with key publics. Okay, what's the big idea behind the Headshot Fundraiser? It's real simple. It's to raise money for you. And here's the deal. I mean, you have hundreds. Some of you have thousands of supporters who follow you on social media, who receive your monthly email, for example. And just say 10% of those people need a new professional headshot. People at least once every 10 years probably do. So let's just say 10% of your followers need a new headshot, and you can do the math on that. Now multiply that amount times $100. And that conceivably could be the amount of money that I could raise for your organization. So I'm providing a needed service for your supporters who already need the headshot, and it raises money for you, and it's just a win-win situation all the way around. By the way, it's something I plan to do for the next 20 years. So this is not a one-shot event. That's not something I'm just doing here in the summer of 2019. It's really going to be one of my long-term legacies for my entire career. So what is a headshot session? What does that consist of? Basically, it means that we have a specific place and we have a specific time. And people are going to show up to that place at that time and get their headshots done. So I will book headshots on the website when the hosting locations become available. And what I'll do is I'll probably book those about every half an hour, unless, of course, there is a larger demand, and then I can make things a little bit tighter. I want to allow for walk-ins. So if I go into, let's say your organization's hosting a headshot session day, we've only got 3 people signed up. For starters, that's already $300 for your organization. So that's good, because you have really no expenses at all in this whole project. But while I'm at your organization, as you host the event there, if you were to choose to do that, we could be going live on Facebook. We could be posting on social media. We could do everything we can do to get more of your supporters in during that day. So it'll be interesting to see the breakdown between those who plan their sessions in advance and those who are like, you know what, I'm already dressed. I'm in that part of town. I'm going to go get my headshot done and see what the walk-in rate looks like. Another thing that I would like to do in the headshot sessions is to film a testimonial of support for your organization. So, it's somebody who's already sitting there who has come because he or she supports what you do. And I simply want them to chat a little bit on camera, if they're willing and if you're open to it, about why they love your ministry and why they support you. Now, that's the type of visual content that I can then upload on social media. You could share that on Facebook. If it's really short, you can share it on Instagram. I can also put it on YouTube where you can take it and embed it into your website. You can even embed it into a monthly email. Of course, I would split the profits with you. The advantage for you is that's not taxable. For me, I get hit with the sales tax, or not the sales tax, I have to pay that too, but income tax on my personal stuff. So, and I'll develop a payout schedule. I'm thinking the 10th of the following month, but those are details we don't need to chat about here. Let's move on to the next point, which is hosting locations. And basically, I'm looking for places where I could do the headshots at. And I want places all throughout DFW, multiple locations, 15, maybe even 20. And I want a number of these places because I want to provide easy access for your supporters to be able to find a location that works for them. I've got probably 7, if not 8 or 9 locations already for nonprofits who in the last couple of weeks have said, we want to host one of these at our place. So we're going to go and see if that actually works out. We need to make sure we have enough space. We need to make sure the lighting's okay, by which I mean we don't have a lot of direct sunlight coming in that's changing throughout the day. So I'll work with you on those details. I might even search out some corporate locations. So if you know of businesses here in the DFW area that have a great place to shoot, maybe it's the atrium of a corporate building or the inside of a beautiful car dealership that has natural light, I will find ways to make it worth it for those corporations to host a headshot session in terms of promoting them and doing what I can to give them a shout out. There are some other benefits of hosting a headshot fundraising session, and they're all wrapped in the general theme of promotion. So once I know that you're going to host a session, I will create headshot fundraiser graphics just for you, branded with your color, with your logo, the specific place, and all that good stuff. In fact, what I'll do is on the front of my website, I will put a specific button just for your hosting location day. People will click on there. I'll have a Google Maps to it, and it'll be really clear how to get there, and then they can select what time slot they want to have their shoot in. I would also like to do social media posts there on my end, and you could do the same on your end, again, to encourage those walk-ups. And that's where the Facebook Live videos could help as well. I do social media for the Community Food Bank here in Fort Worth, and I'm always amazed at how many viewers we can get on a live video. People who just tune in and give us their support. A lot of comments of great love coming towards us. We want some of those people coming to your location to be able to do the headshot. And then finally, this is a little more creative idea under the hosting locations. I plan to start a YouTube kind of reality TV type series of me exploring interesting things around North Texas. I've called it Explorations by Anthony Mosley. So what I would do is kind of a reality TV type program of me shooting at your location. And that's maybe where you give me a tour. If you're an animal shelter, we go meet some of the animals and you tell us about your operations and fun stuff like that. So that's going to be fun. And that's going to reach people who aren't really in my audience for photography. It's going to reach people who probably aren't in your audience as a nonprofit organization. So the goal is to pull them in, to pull the wider public into some of the cool stuff that we're going to be doing. So that, in a nutshell, is hosting locations. And finally, what's the next step? If you're a hosting organization, if you volunteered to have me come to your place to do headshots, then the next step is for us to work together to set a date. So we're going to lock that date down. The next thing I'll do is I'll create promotional graphics for you. We'll work on scripting if you need it, if you need help sharing the content with your audiences via social media, newsletters, etc. After that, it's just a matter of promoting it. It's a matter of pushing that message out there. And I will book the headshots. I will keep you up to date on how that is going and how much money we expect to raise. If you are not a hosting organization, then I encourage you just to sit tight for a week or two maybe and just see how the hosting organizations, how the hosting sessions begin to firm up. So After probably a couple of weeks, I expect to have 2, 3, maybe even 4 locations locked down. And that's where we can begin to tell your people, hey, you can go to any of these locations here in DFW. And so what I would like from you is just, if I'm a quarterback and I'm throwing the pass towards you, it's helpful to know that you're out there trying to catch the ball as opposed to not even running for it. So if I do something to create a graphic for you, or if I work in a way to promote you, if you can work with me and I'll work with you to customize my skills and my graphics to meet your marketing needs, then that would be helpful. In short, I'm a storyteller, and to me that trumps the money, it trumps the photography, and it's the most important thing. I think we've got the opportunity to create something very special in terms of having all of these video testimonials talking about why they love nonprofits in Texas. I mean, over time, if we get hundreds, thousands of these things archived, it could be a fascinating window into life here in the DFW area during our lifetimes. So it's got a little bit of an archival value that I think will transcend just our fundraising efforts here. Anyway, I'm Anthony. Thank you for watching, and feel free to contact me always via my website or at anthony@vpbam.com. I'll put it on the screen here. All right, thanks.